everybody. It's Brian, and I am back. And it's a Wednesday, and because yesterday I just was, you know, not feeling it. So, um, just making my way through the world, and we're spending some time here. I have a plan for streaming this weekend. So, if you're looking for your two a week from me, it's not going to be Tuesday and Friday. It'll be Wednesday and Sunday in this case. Ms. Berlin, Mr. Betcher will be joining me. I also have a chat going on with our good friend operator who has been on before. We're going to be talking about setting up an LLM, which I know we talked a little bit about with Mick Douglas. We didn't actually go through and set up like concierge or the what it is going to become, but the idea would be that uh, we could set up a rag of our own, and you can do stuff with it, right? You can take and you can actually be useful. So if you've got PDFs of NIST documents or whatever, you can use concierge, you can use shrib shrib shribty shribty something like. You can go check out his GitHub. Let me find the link for that. Link. All right, so yeah. Security innovations GitHub. Yes, and I know that it's kind of busted over there on the side. InfoSec innovations, concierge, uh, and this is something you can use at work. It will control the data, right? Instead of you throwing it up in a chat GPT or a copilot or something where you're not exactly sure where those things are going. If you've gotten a 50-page pen test document and your your leadership is like, well, tell me about the document, or summarize what happened in the document. You can just pop that in to your local RAG, retrieval augmented generation, and get get an output that is somewhat useful. Obviously, and I want to stress this, don't just copy paste, right? There's some news stories that we'll be going over this weekend. You can join us if you dare. Um, I'd heard that the YouTube algorithm likes, sensational stuff and like, thumbnails where people are like, and, big loud letters and things, and it helps with the algorithm. But oh, they've added some things. Let me see. 7A20 came out last week. Okay. All right. A Shabti. I'm sorry, Shabti. Yes, there you go. Oh, right. Shabti is the tool. So you can see where he's called it Shabti. And if I remember, those are the little jars that the mummy had, or little helpers in the afterlife, I think. So it comes in a Linux version, a Mac version, and a Windows version, as well as the source code if you want to be brave and compile it yourself, for you like to min max, like you're on Gen 2 or something. So I will pop the concierge slash Shabti. I'm assuming there's a little bit of work to have to go in and change the public repo name from concierge to Shabti. So just keep that in mind when you're. Hey Walt, how you doing, man? I was just thinking about you the other day. I saw that another friend of ours on the Discord had found himself a position that was not remote, but he's working that. How are you doing? You doing all right? You have you landed somewhere? I hope that's the case. Um, I'm not breaking any leader records uh, on the site here for these items, but figure I will continue on my journey of trying to make an asteroids game. Uh, cool. I'm glad you're doing all right. I have been dealing with a few medical issues, but uh, it's mostly, I think, anxiety based. But I'm hoping that we'll have an answer to those things very soon. Uh, my doctor did berate me for not taking my ADHD medication as often as I should, so I've now have a remembering a remembrance reminder in my phone very similar to when I talked with Jay Beal about, things that he has to deal with. So he has numerous reminders in his phone to do things, which I thought, okay, which makes complete sense. If it's something you have welded to your hand normally, you should be able to use it. So I've already engaged Boots on this because I told him, I said, hey, I'm about to start streaming, so hit me on the knowledge about making, these groups that are going to be have to be made in the asteroid game. So I've actually went ahead and said I did this one because they've really nerfed the XP on these things. I mean, this is a level 5, and I think I got like 96 XP on this. So I had actually done all of these up to this point. I didn't do this one because I was like, well, I need enough to fill a 250 XP chest. So now I'm going back and finishing this one so I can go to section 3 where we actually make the asteroids and they're going to move around on the screen. I'm going to shoot them. Um, so we had an interview with Walmart. Okay, Walmart software engineering. That's awesome. Is it is it a remote position? Because last I heard, they were going back to RTO5, and it's either like you're going to be in Northern Virginia. I think they have some other spots as well, but like Northern Virginia or Bentonville, Arkansas, which that's an interesting place. So, either way, good luck. I hope you get it. I've heard some good things about the security group there. Um, Actually, they're one of the folks that we know and we've interviewed on the show here. Just left the group. Oh, Sunnyvale. That's not awful. Sunnyvale's near the San Jose airport, I think. Uh, it's in the south of the South Bay. If you go that far, I think it's actually closer to like Santa Cruz and those areas than it is like San Francisco and that. But oh, the boss is in Bellevue. Well, that's even better. It's even better. So that's awesome. So this is the code I have, and I will start my music, which I'm hoping we won't have an ad on because I really didn't want to. There we go. All right. I really didn't want to have to deal with the increase in audio. I can actually shrink up shrink that up, and I need to make it a little bigger. Make the font size a little bigger because my old ass eyes can't handle that. That's cool. That they have. It's interesting to hear where people are, working. I didn't realize that Walmart had a software engineering presence in Bellevue, Washington. Um, I guess it would kind of make sense if you're, able to poach software engineers from, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, other big companies in tech that are up in the Seattle area. So that would make sense. Maybe they wouldn't necessarily want to move from the Seattle to the Pacific Northwest, and it would make sense to not make them moving to the East Coast or moving to the really really Midwest, Northwestern Arkansas. That's interesting. So yeah.
Imagine being able to build
Kriznap.
anything
Okay.
just by thinking about it.
Yeah, shut up. I'm gonna have to log in, I think, here. Hold on. Oh well, maybe we won't have a music because my password is gone. So well, that's okay. We just won't have music. Um, uh, well, I hope you're keeping yourself busy. And, yeah. So I did asked Boots. I said, hey, hit me up. Groups in Pygame are containers that help you manage multiple game objects efficiently. Instead of manually calling .update and draw on each object individually, you can organize them into logical groups and operate on the entire group at once. Yeah, I kind of got that. It was, the way we were building it was in inefficient. So we're trying to consolidate. We're trying to make it more efficient. We're trying to make sure that we um, maybe it doesn't take up as much memory. Maybe it's a bit more performant this way. So we're going to create two groups in main.py. And so you said we're going to create two, yeah, updatable and drawable. So I don't think it matters exactly where we put them. So we can go updatable and then, uh, yeah, updatable. All the objects that can be updated, all the objects that can be drawn, right? So we're going to updatable and drawable. Going to Superman at 4:30. You know what? I watched that. I think we watched it Sunday. I actually kind of enjoyed it. I'm not saying that I'm not surprised that I enjoyed it, but I felt that it was a different take on the Superman mythos in this case. You know, Superman's got feelings, um, and it's I liked it. It you know obviously Lex Luthor's in it, uh, and they didn't try to do too much. I think it was a good 2 hour movie. Um, there's about 20 minutes of previews, which wasn't awful. I'm really interested in the Odyssey that's coming out, the movie of the Odyssey. I think it's going to be really nice. Pie Game Sprite Group. Yes, because you mentioned it right here. My group equals Pie Game Sprite Group. Because we need to create empty ones so that we can add all instances of a player to those two groups. So group A and group B, which would be updatable and drawable, which I spelled drawable wrong. My manager is also not at work. So just sticking on a little longer than normal because um, I'm the first line of defense and I'm the last line of defense right now. Um, so we want sprite group. It's interesting why you would have two empty groups called that. You need to do it before the while loop. Oh, interesting. Create two groups to organize. I guess that would make sense. You don't want to. Yeah, the while loop. The one thing I've kind of noticed with the while loop is it's really the crux of the whole thing. Without this while loop, nothing works, and um, uh, you have to be careful when you're um, doing anything inside of it. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know why it's doing that, but that was genius. All right, X. It would make sense to put it maybe in main, like you had mentioned. So, oh, there we go. We set up class let containers. Oh, okay. So add all instances of a player to two groups, group A and group B. So those are the two that we made, updatable and drawable. Those are the groups. And we need to add a class variable or static field called containers to the class so that literally with this one line, you don't need to bother with adding this field into the class declaration. Okay. So we need player. The one thing I found interesting was some of the variables or some of the classes are uppercase or lowercase. So if from player and you're going to import capital player, and it's like, well, okay, you should have, feels like we should have not, made that delineation and or made that variable the same thing. So we need updatable. Oh, not updatable. There we go. Drawable. Um, the oh, it's about a month away. It's less than a month away. So DEF CON Black Hat. Uh, I just heard some stuff from our goon folks. I'm actually going to be there a bit early. Um, thought it was going to be at a work event, but I actually have to be at a work event like the day before, so I'm not gonna, I'm gonna have to fly out early on the morning of the 6th, but I'm gonna be helping set up at the convention center. I actually don't need those, so it'll be interesting to see the setup part because I wasn't there for that last year. Oh, cool! You got a ticket for DEF CON. Okay. So yeah, Walt, when you walk through the stanchion, the line of stanchions, which I'm hoping we have more of those this year because we're sorely lacking there. For those of you who went last year, for those of you who went last year and did Inhuman Reg, or the sign up reg, it seemed like everybody bought a ticket online, so the line for that was extremely large, versus you pay in person was like non-existent. And so they're making some changes with layout, as I expected they would, because it was the first year they did this. We didn't know what to expect. One of the reasons I volunteered, as I've mentioned probably numerous times ad nauseum, was that it was a new venue. I knew that they might need more people, 300,000 square feet. So there's going to be some, changes that need to be done. So it's an iterative process, right? So um, according to and actually I didn't know this, the local DEF CON group that I have down here, 858-619, there will not be a bus that goes between or a shuttle that goes between the hotels. Um, just something to think about. And I actually have not asked the DEF CON folks about this because I wanted it to come from the DEF CON group, but one of our organizers for the local DEF CON had said, somebody said, yeah, so no shuttle from the Tuscany to DEF CON. The shuttle from Tuscany to DC hasn't been confirmed yet. Um, Oh, I've heard that there are no buses, etc., running between DEF CON hotels and the venue. The buses you see will be for the goons to and from their hotel. Plan accordingly. That's from Mr. Bill, who's the one of the overarching people of DEF CON 619-858. So he had plan accordingly in big bulky letters. So um, yeah, plan accordingly. I don't know what that's going to do, honestly. I know that they were very well received last year, and running between the convention center and the Rio specifically, or the Tuscany, or what have you, was very good. So um, yeah, there's if you haven't bought your hotel yet, if you don't want to have to walk very far, the Fontainebleau is right there. I think there's a Marriott right across the street from the convention center. Those might already be sold out. I don't know. Um, but just keep that in mind. And there's also I think the monorail or whatever, which I believe has access from the convention center. You can go there for that. So, oh yeah, Comic Con's in 24th, 27th down here in San Diego. Hmm. Actually, so if you're coming down for Comic Con, I think Bishop Fox has a like meet and greet, which let me find that. I don't. God. Bishop Fox are good people, so let me see, where is that at? I saw that. Where? Sorry, I'm getting way ahead of myself here. But Bishop Fox is going to be doing something for um, events. I think it's an events. Death Con is going on as well. It's a detection engineering threat conference. That's tickets for that. It's November. It's a little ways off, but if you're interested in information security, threat detection, and what have you, they're going to have a virtual component, but they're also going to have an on-site component. Ironically enough, the location of this is 10 minutes from my house, um, which I can almost walk down there. Um, it's a good venue. I haven't been the Alexandria San Diego Tech Center, 9645 Scranton Road, literally about 10 minutes from my house. Not even 10 minutes from it's near it's actually really close to my chiropractor. So um, I could go down there. I've actually thought about joining that, and it'd be super cheap for me. Um, but just trying to raise. Oh, here it is. RSVP to coffee, surf, and stroll in Ocean Beach. So that is Sorry, y'all are probably seeing a bunch of shade on the screen here. Um, so there's that, and they have 20 spots left, 20 of 20. I don't know if they're doing a good job of RSVPing this, but if you want the actual location in Ocean Beach, which is a really cool and chill place to go, it's happening during Comic Con. That's why I said, it's happening the 26th on Saturday. Um, and they say fresh brewed coffee and tea, artisanal bagels, coolers with drinks, complimentary surfing and bodyboard equipment. So if you want to surf or bodyboard, you can do that. And it's very dog friendly environment. Okay, I think I know where it is. If you're in San Diego, you know where that is, maybe in Ocean Beach. But you're going to be at the Comic Con and you want to network with the Bishop Fox folks, hit them up. You can RSVP down here. I may actually go just because I'm not going to go to Comic Con. So I don't want to get up at 7 a.m., but I'm going to get up and, go hang out and do that. But if you're coming down from Bishop, Comic Con, if you can tear yourself away, Ocean Beach is 20 minutes from the convention center, I think. It's not too bad. So, just giving a heads up there for folks if they want to do those things. Um, I'll probably mention them again on Sunday for the stream. I don't go to Comic Con because that's a lot of people, right? And it's different. It's a lot of people, right? It won't be 150 degrees like will in Vegas, but a lot of people. And they like rent out the stadium next door, the Padres Stadium, which is down the street, and Spreckles Theater and a bunch of other places for that. Anyway, all right, so we've got our player containers, and so create your player after setting containers. When you create a player, it automatically joins both groups. Okay, so they do denote player versus player. Those are two different things. I would have changed that. I would not have made player and player the same thing because my brain is like, oh, they're the same. Even though I know case sensitivity and whatever makes them different, I would have made that different. So um, Boots may have gotten tired of me and just like, yeah, I'm just going to give you the answers so you can just go on and do your bit. Um, only 100. Yeah, yeah, well, only 112,000 people. Actually, yeah, I don't know how many people attended Comic Con last year. I want to say it was roughly 500,000 people. Comic Con attendance 2024. Oh no, 130,000. 130,000 attendees according to uh yeah, over 100 since 2010, 130,000 attendees, half a million square foot of space in the convention center there. Um, I would really love if DEF CON or Black Hat was to move to San Diego, but we can't always get what we want. You know. But yeah, it's big ass conference or big ass convention. So, um, yeah, early years El Cortez Hotel. I mean, just to give you an idea. That is, yeah. I mean, they actually spent several like millions of dollars expanding the convention center here a couple of years back because it is just fucking huge and such a big money. San Diego, I think, makes back their tax dollars or yeah, impact is 170. Yeah, 20. That's in 2014. They had 177.8 million dollars spent. In 2016, 150 million. So yeah, I mean it's just nuts. Just yeah, they're hoping to raise 25 million. Yeah, uh, yeah, it's pretty badass. They got a lot of stuff going on, but most locals try to avoid it as much as possible. Well, because we don't like to deal with the traffic and everything downtown. Update your game loop instead of player.update dt. Okay, that makes sense. You're gonna or drawable object in drawable, right? So that's when you can iterate over objects in a group just like any collection in Python. So or thing and things. Last time I went was a decade ago, so the center may have. Oh yeah, oh it's definitely bigger. Yeah. If you're coming to Comic Con, the smart thing is to take the trolley, which uh, is a good idea. But remember, they only hold so many people in those trolleys, and it's going to be really like packed in. Um, but it will save you, $40 to park at the stadium parking or anywhere nearby. Or you can maybe try to find, it might, I was gonna say it might be cheaper to park at the airport and then walk over, but that's a hell of a walk. If you could probably like park in one of the neighborhoods, a little further back, close to the trolley station, and then come in. There's a lot of ways to get in. There's different trolley. I think there's 4 trolley lines that come into downtown at some point. So um, yeah. Okay. So we've done this. We've done this. Set both groups for containers for the player. We're going to change the game loop to use the new groups instead of the player object, right? So we're going to for grouping groups, or in this case, it says for drawable and drawables, right? Updatable for wait, update your game loop instead of player update DT. We want updatable, right? Updatable looks weird. It shouldn't be that. Update DT. So DT is delta time or time delta, which is um, keeping it to 60 frames a second, so it's nice and smooth. And instead of player.draw screen, I'm going to need a loop. We're going to iterate through a loop, right? For drawable object in drawable object dot draw. There we go. Apply this rock scalability, right? When you add asteroids, bullets, etc., they'll automatically be managed by the appropriate groups, and we don't have to continually add like, we're going to add the ship, we're going to add, bullets, we're going to add asteroids. It's just all the objects are going to be updated at the same time, and that'll make it faster, right? And if we decide we want to add more sprites, like maybe enemy ships or something, you can expand upon that. Organization, you can have objects in multiple groups, like an asteroid that's both updatable and drawable, right? And cleaner code. Your game loop stays simple even as you add more. I wouldn't call it simpler because now you've added a for loop in here for just no freaking reason. Maybe if I spaced it out a little bit and made it more you know uh, understandable, that would though we have a for and then if nested in here, and then we're going to return, and then we're going to flip the game. So ready to implement for your stream. The pattern will make asteroids and bullets much cleaner in the upcoming lessons. All right, well, let me see. Where is the Um, pie game. There it is. All right. So I'm gonna highlight that. I'm gonna save this. And one of the other things I'm still working on and I've been dealing with is my solo role play stuff. I haven't been remiss in dealing with that. Um, all right. So we added groups for uh, simplification and scalability. New and improved. And we will go ahead and commit and push. All right. So yeah, we call the update method on the updatables group, loop overall drawables. Okay. I'm gonna run this just to see if it actually works. I don't know if we've done everything or not, but grab the terminal, new terminal in asteroids, and then it's going to be, man, come on, pi, winter. There we go. Okay, that's weird. So it's missing. Uh, Maybe it's not done yet. I may not be done yet. Close window. Do it again. Do it again. So there's some stuff that needs to be done, I think, still. Okay, so close that. Okay, copy. I've added everything suggested, including groups, but the game does not show the sprites. I have a typo. Of course I do. See, where's my typo? Containers. Oh, duh. Okay. Also, I noticed you're creating the player twice. Uh, player. Oh, um, oh, I see. Okay. Okay, there we go. Great, yes. Okay, that should fix it. Oh, I see. I'm moving this down underneath all of it. I see. There we go. It would be a typo that would cause me problems, wouldn't it? Ba, ba, ba. Okay, Control S, and then bug fix it. And then we're gonna push it real good. Oh no! Oop, what do you want? I meant that in a nice way. I meant that in the nicest way possible. All right, close that. New terminal. Asteroids. Dev. There we go. Oh, there I am. Oh, wait. Cool. All right. So what we see is I'm not sure why I'm not seeing. Okay, so it's interesting on the screen. I see my game window. There it is. Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't seeing that, but all right. And then there we go. So you can see I was doing everything. I don't know if I can fire. I don't. I'll have to probably add something to fire, like spacebar or something. No joke. I had a complete brain fart, and I'm over here using my up, down, left, right arrow keys, and nothing is working. I'm thinking, oh, it's busted. I actually spent about 20 minutes the other night going WTF, and then I was like, oh, right, as WASDL, right, WAS, that kind of thing. Um, and so the other annoying thing is if you go off the screen and you keep pressing backwards, it doesn't like wrap to the other side of the screen. So I'm hoping that maybe they'll fix that because you can get so far off the screen that maybe it won't come back. Which, uh, the way I remember playing Asteroids is you go off one side of the screen and you come back on the other side of the screen in the same spot. So I'm hoping that it'll have that. Firing comes like yeah, I figured firing comes later, but yeah, I wanted to finish this because I had already said I completed it, and obviously I can't play the game if I don't complete all the lessons. Um, so yeah, now we're going to asteroids. So what I've started doing is just for at least the game here for the last 7 of these, I probably won't submit any of these. I'll just wait until I'm done and then be able to submit for a chest or something to not game the system. I'm not really worried about leaderboards at this point. Time is it? Oh, okay, pretty good. So good. Email. Holy crap. Okay, what's been going on while I've been out? All right, checking my email here. Ah, just a reminder, you need to complete your annual security training by August 8th. Otherwise, they're going to terminate my network access. Yeah, I'll have that done in about 10 minutes. It's pretty cool. Not completing it will result in an escalation email to your manager, your skip plus one, your director, and your VP. So, 10-minute training could go clear up to your VP to be, you're not good. So, yeah, fun times. Um, mm, I'm gonna fire the laser. All right, so it's arguable that a critical part of asteroids is, well, the asteroids. Goes without saying. Let me. So the OBS is weird and interesting. I will. I have quit the game terminal, as you can see down here on the bottom on my terminal, but this still exists, and nothing moves on the screen when nothing moves when I run WASDL on that. It's just stuck there. So it's an OBS osity. So I actually have to hide that, and I can re-enable it and disable it, but it still shows up, which is interesting. I'm gonna hide the audio on that. And obviously when I go back and run it again, then I'll have to re-enable that stuff like before. So yeah, critical part of asteroids is in fact the asteroids. And so let's create another class to represent an asteroid. All right, so we're going to create an asteroid. So we're going to create a new class called asteroid in the new file called asteroid.py. Okay. New file, asteroid.py. Uh, I don't know how many of you use this, but I've actually found that GitHub app on my phone is a really effective note-taking, like brain dumping thing. Like if I have an idea, it's like, oh, I can just go into GitHub and create. I've got a private repo with all my droppings in it. And I'm like, oh, I just do whatever. I find this a very efficient method of taking notes, better than like Google Docs or whatever, which is what I was using before. It's just a little less weighty. Um, the I couldn't imagine actually programming on my phone that way. Apparently, it's a fairly decent experience using boot.dev, but I can never imagine doing that with on my phone. So, all right. So we're going to create a new class called asteroid. Uh, yeah. Oh, let me close that one. I don't know if we're going to need all these, but I'm assuming we will at some point because we're going to have to make changes to main at least. So I'm going to leave main open. All right. Scooch this over a little bit. Scooch. There we go. Oops. I don't honestly don't know how other streamers who's you know program and shit actually do this without having to rearrange screens all the time. Class asteroid. Asteroid singular, even though it wants me to do asteroids because it's debag. Um, oh, is it re-enabling that shit again? Right. So class, right? There we go. And then add the constructor with this signature. So um, the asteroids are going to need self, right? We refer self-referential, right? So self.x would be the x-axis or the x coordinate for the asteroid. The y is the y coordinate for the center of the asteroid. And unlike other asteroid games you might have played, I think these are going to be perfectly round right now. At some point in the future, though, we will have you can actually make, different polygons and what have you. Um, and then the radius. So it's going to be a center, and then it's going to be like the radius is 3. So the asteroids are going to be circles with a 3 something, right? Probably. Oh, bye, bye, Walt. Have a good day. Take care. Hope you enjoy the movie. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves a snack. I'm so unpopular. I don't even have workers. Isn't that great? Just talking to myself now, so that's pretty cool. Override the draw method to draw the asteroid as a pygame draw.circle. Use its position, radius, and width of 2. Okay, so I've done this. Done this. Yeah. So player, yeah. So shape and that. All right. Let's. I better remind myself to take my freaking training tomorrow. Normally, I take it just as soon as it happens, but I can understand, the higher up you get in the organization or the more shit you have to do, these things become like, oh, yeah, I've got to go do that. Uh, Obviously, this will happen while I'm at DEF CON, so I don't want to get shut off while I'm at DEF CON. So I will um, do that. Oh, okay. So I won't immediately lose my access. It's just everybody all the way up to my VP will get notified. And if I don't take it before September 8th, then I will get shut off. That would be bad. That would be bad. Okay. So let me see. So override the draw method. And I think we did that. Where did we override the draw method before? Was that here? Because we had something similar, player radius. Where was the overriding the draw? Here, yes, right here. We overrode the draw method in player.py with something similar. Um, so in this case, pygame draw circle, right? Instead of polygon, uh, and then self triangle, right? So we're going to do something similar here. Position, radius, width of 2. So yeah, we're going to do something similar here. Position. Is there another? There's another. Yeah, you can see here where all the WASDL. God damn it! Why does it do that? Get history. No, I don't want any of that shit. I don't know why the suggestions keep enabling themselves. Let's see, is that it? I don't want debugging. I hate the pop-up debugging. I really, really hate the pop-up debugging. It gets in my way and I hate it. It's been turned off. I don't get it. It's been it's just so annoying. I mean, you can't tell me that people actually like that shit when this comes up. Hey, fix it. Laggy over here so you might miss stuff. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just futzing around with asteroids. Fix it. Do you ever do coding? Do you have do you actually enjoy when something, tells you you're not doing something right? That annoys the shit out of me. Okay, what's been going on? Why is that wrong? Okay. So asteroid is giving me shit here. Why is that? Expect an indentation block after function definition on line 2. Just just sucks so much ass. I'm guessing I have to also import all of these things from. I guess I better put all these things in there as well. There we go. Yeah, I'm not laggy there at Fixit, so I'm at a solid 60 frames, and I'm only dropped 53 out of 207,000. Oh, up to volume now. Okay. Um, yeah, no, let me. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, maybe make sure that that's a little closer to normal. It's maxed out, so um. Hmm. Bum, bum, ba-da-da-da, dum, dum, dum. Yeah, it's a little low on the thing. Maybe I do need to scream. Ah, fix it. It's going. It's going. I have something annoying the hell out of me with the pop-ups here, but I don't know why that's showing up. But you're at the country house. Ah, okay. So that's why your internet's a little on the fiddly side, I'd imagine. Okay. All right. Override the draw method. So we did that in player. So that's where we pulled that down from. Copy. So we don't necessarily want to have that, but it's right there. Oh, okay. That went away. 4G antenna on the roof. Okay. Okay. That's not too bad. Actually, I probably, I don't know if me, you know, recording this in, high resolution or high definition, feel free to drop that to 720 if you don't want to see my pretty face. Uh, but yeah, you can drop it to 720 if you like, or 360, and if it's too fuzzy, let me know. I can always increase the font size to make it more readable. Uh, All right. Override the draw method to draw the asteroid as a pie game, draw a circle. So we're going to do draw circle. And it's not going to be a triangle. Uh, Width of 2, so that's the line width of 2. I'm assuming the color is going to be white. Um, Position, radius, and width. So we're going to need position. Hmm. Okay, so override the update method so it moves in a straight line at a constant speed. When I'm pointing to stuff with the mouse, it pops stuff to hide what I wanted to show. Yeah. I don't know why this keeps popping back up. I thought I had turned all of this off, but the pop-ups are just, yeah, it's like I don't need that right now. Um okay, update the override method. So similar to player, we have an update method right here. And on each frame, it should add self velocity times delta time to its position to get self velocity from the parent class circle shape. Okay. Initialization code in main before the loop starts. Create a new Pygame sprite group, which will contain all of the asteroids. Should go to bed really. I'm trying to get my 17-year-olds to sleep. Yeah, fix it. Don't stick around and wait for me. I will be here on Sunday as well. But yeah, go and get yourself some sleep because it's super late there. So, yeah, take off if you need to. Appreciate you coming by though. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Um, if I can get the asteroids to work, then I'll have a game of asteroids that I can play at some point. Uh, it's nice when you want them, but I like to slow it down. It's like instant now. Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, just yeah, go take care of family and have yourself a good night. If I don't talk to you before then. Okay. All right. So grab the asteroid. We want to def wrong. Oh, it's just one name. Okay. All right, that's cool. All right. Hide game draw circle. Use its position, radius, and width of 2. All right, so we're gonna need, I think, did we self. So position radius. Okay, so maybe self dot radius. Okay. I almost wish at this point boot.dev would be like, yeah, don't worry about getting help from boots because everybody's going to be using boots. So yes, of course I'm going to use a friggin' see, you're working on the asteroid class. Few issues to address. Your asteroid class should inherit from circle shape. Oh, okay. So that's right. Oh, did it say that above? I just missed that. Oh, class should. Okay, circle shape. So yes, circle shape. All right. Yes. Oh, that's right. It gets self velocity from its parent class circle shape. All right. So it's going to collect. And that's, yeah. So I'm going to need to have everything that was in player.py in here as well. So if I had not added these and just went ahead and, you know, saved this and tried to run it, there would be error messages, right? Because it wouldn't know where pygame is. It wouldn't know where constants are from. Circle shape, importing circle shape. So the imports need to occur. All right. Trying to be cognizant. We've got some chicken in the sous vide, so it's a little after 4, so that's pretty cool. Uh, all right. So what did Boots have to say? Your init is incomplete. What do you think you need to do inside the constructor? Remember, you're inheriting from circle shape. You'll need to call the parent constructor. Right. So we need a super. We need a super. We need a super init, right? So let me see. Yeah, we need the super init as well. Here, pull that, copy. Make sure I get it formatted right. All right. Right, we're going to super init and let me double check. Add this constructor, override the draw method. Whoa, what the hell? We've written asteroid field, create a new, whoa. Um, okay. Wait. So they've written the asteroid field up high for me. Um, that's not even part of Boots. That was just something that I got. So I need to copy paste this. They're really cutting some corners on this game thing. I mean, I get it because there's going to be a lot of folks who are like, God, this is tedious as F. So, all right, so I'm going to create asteroid field. Nope, all lowercase. Asteroid field dot py. And then we're going to, this way. All right. And so, going to need this copy. I need to put this in main.py. Since import, there's a lot of importations and a lot of froms, right? That we're pulling down. This is how you get dependency hell, right? You know, I mean, we're building all of this ourselves, but you're pulling in a ton of dependencies and shit when you're building these things. It's very attractive to want to pull in world plus dog to make things easier because you don't want to have to write code. I mean, we're getting to where everything is, there's only one way to do it. So import this module, or hey, ask the AI how to do it, or whatever. and now we're doing both, right? Um, okay, so definite. Here's asteroid up high. So I've got the super. So we're gonna super is the circle. I'm gonna. I would love to be able to right click and just delete, yeet that shit from the sun. Um, okay, so oh, it said what to yes, init. What do you need to do inside the constructor? Remember, you're inheriting, so you need to call the parent constructor. I am not sure what all I need to pull from the parent constructor. Where is circle shape? Okay, so look like X, Y, and radius. So I need to pull self, X, Y, and radius. Maybe not self. Maybe just X, Y, and radius. Um, I called super init X, Y, and radius. Didn't think I needed self there. Okay, yeah, so that's you also correct, self as a parameter and calling this super handles that for you. Your constructor should look like this, which is what it is. Okay, what about the other issues in your code? In your draw method, you're using a variable called points, which is not correct, right? Um, should be radius, as it's suggested radius, right? Let's see. Position, radius, and width of 2. So position, so draw method. Okay, so it should be position, radius. Okay, I don't think we need Stanley. Damn it. I don't know why VS Code constantly wants to get in the fucking way with its pop-ups. Okay, position, radius, and width 2. So position, radius, and width. So I need to width. Okay, so copy, added the imports, position, radius, and width in the draw function. Yes, I know. Draw method signature. The draw method should have the signature def draw self and script. Oh, okay. So it was exactly the same as before. Um, okay. So self and screen, right? Huh. Okay. Uh, high game draw circle parameters should be screen color. Oh, radius alignment. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. No, they're wrong. Okay. Think about what each parameter should be, what color should be set to, and the radius is the right and is radius the right parameter for the position? Now I probably should. Uh, what should you add to self position each frame? Make the asteroid move. Hmm. Put the self screen back. Yeah, I actually had it in there before, but I went and changed it. Sees the screen drawn, but the position and the radius should come from the object's own properties, self position and self radius. Okay. Uh, Pygame, draw circle parameters, looking at your draw circle, screen color, radius, and line width. Yes, those there. What is wrong with this? Think about what each parameter should be. Okay, go back up here. Suggests position, radius, and width of 2. All right, position, radius, and width. So position should be 0. I think that's correct. I'm not confident about that answer, so we'll go and ask him. I'm not confident about self position. Yeah, don't reassign self position. You're setting it to 0, but positions should already have a value from circle shape. Okay. All right. So you don't need that. You don't need that. You don't want to change it in the draw method. You just want to use it. All right. So that's position, right? So we'll inherit all of those values from circle shape. Look at your current call. You're missing some parameters. What? Oh, why does it expect those in order? Surface. Okay, so I had surface in there to begin with. So basically, what I had for what parent or oh, okay, turn that off. Nope. So the player one was very similar. So it had screen, color, center, position as a tuple or vector 2. Radius is how big, and line thickness, line width. Okay, interesting. Okay. So I need to put those in here in that order, right? So surface, color, center, radius, width. Okay. And I assume because I don't want it to clash with the line width, I need to just make that width. What should each of these be in your case? You have screen available. You can access self position and self radius from the parent class. What about the color? Color would be very similar to color would be white in this case. So copy, asteroid. Yes, yes, yes. There we go. White. Center. Center would be XY. Okay. Center. Center. Seems like it should be something like center equals X, Y. Right. Okay. You get this from self position. Okay. So that self position is in a circle. What property does the asteroid have for this? Can you replace those variable names with the actual values you want to use? Remember, you inherit self position and radius. Not sure what position is. He isn't. Should I have a position in the Pygame Draw circle. Should just use self position. Okay. Oh, the center. Okay. So center equals self dot position. Okay. Radius is self dot radius. I see. Yes. Radius equals self dot radius. That's a lot of new stuff. I guess. Oh, all right, fix it. Good night. Have a good one. Take care. One small issue you're calling. What variable do you actually have available? You define surface somewhere, but look at your method signature. What parameter are you receiving? Method signature is draw screen, so you should use screen instead of surface. What? Oh, I see. All right. So, all right. There's that. Right. I know I still have that. I haven't moved. I haven't changed it. Asteroids shouldn't respond to key presses. They should just move in a straight line at a constant speed. Assignment says on each frame it should add. Okay, so we need. What do you think the update method should do instead of checking for key presses? Remember, you inherit self-dot velocity from circle shape parent class and you receive dt as a parameter. So I don't think we need keys in this case. We need um, update method should. What did it say to do for the update method up top? Let's see. Update method should position, right? So position self dot velocity. Right. All right. Okay. Yeah, we're 22. Okay, that's good. Copy. Oh, wrong. Added what you suggested to the update function or def. Oh, I see. I see. Oh, sorry. Plus. There we go. It should be plus minus. You're using position, but what property the asteroid actually stores its current location? Center. Center. The position. Right. That was just a variable name used in the draw method. The actual property that stores the asteroid. Oh, self dot. Oh. I see. Okay. So, there we go. Okay. That's that. Right. So we're taking the position, which is a spot, an XY coordinate in this case, and then we're adding self-dot velocity in terms of speed times 60 frames, which is dt delta time. All right. So now complete your complete asteroid class should have a constructor that calls the parent constructor, which I did that. It's right there. That's the parent constructor calling. A draw method that draws a white circle. Ooh. Hmm. I mean, that's correct. Center would be the center of the position, so that would be the spot. And then the width is, or the radius is the self dot radius. Uh, your asteroid dot pi should be working correctly now. Have you moved on to the next steps in the assignment, like creating the asteroid group in main pi? No, I have not. Okay, and I did the update method, the initialization code in main. So let me go ahead and save that. The initialization code in main before the game loop, which game loop is this, right? This is the game loop. So before the game loop, create a new pygame.sprite.group. So pygame sprite.group, which contains all the asteroids. So we want, uh, oh, wait, can't do that there. I feel like I need to put it above just to make sure that I don't get it in the way. Okay, in the initialization code in main, create a pygame sprite group. All right, so call it asteroids. Sprite. Okay, just like we did with the player class, set the static container. Oh, okay, see. So we're just going to use this one, I guess. Okay, so actually we're going to need to move this down below. We want to put it right there. Okay, so we tab, do that. There we go. This ensures that every instance of the asteroid class is automatically added to these groups upon creation. All right, so we have player containers and asteroid containers. Um, it's really weird why we don't have a player updatable, drawable. It's asteroids updatable and drawable. Interesting. All right, we've written asteroid field class for you, so we created asteroid field. Contains the logic for spawning new asteroids. Create a new file called asteroidfield.py, right, and import it into your main py. Paste this in the code. So um, need so all right. So I need to import asteroid field. Actually, so what I'm going to do is probably just from asteroid field import star. Then I don't need to do, I do probably still need to do that one as well, but I need to have the entire asteroid field bit in there. Game vector, asteroid max radius times screen height. Yeah, we already covered screen height, screen width, lambda. Oh, my guess is it's going to explain lambda to us in functional programming. Could be wrong. I don't know. Or it'll explain it to us here in a little bit. In the main pie, set the static containers field of the asteroid field class only the updatable group. It's not drawable. It's not an asteroid itself. Okay. In main.py, okay. Set the static containers field of the asteroid field class. Build object and initialization code. Okay. Run the game and make sure asteroids are spawning and moving across the screen and that you didn't break your ship in process. Okay. I haven't created the asteroids group yet. Okay. All right. So I need an asteroids group. My game sprite group. Okay. Didn't create the asteroids group yet, so I did that asteroids group. Okay. Updatable and drawable. But you're missing the asteroids group. Right. Okay. So I did asteroids. Should be similar to how you created the updater. Yeah. Okay. So that's why asteroids is in here because it's calling out that specifically. If I had other players, like multiple players, this would be like player one containers, and then I'd have a player one group, right? So it'd be player one equals Pi game sprite group asteroids. Um, okay. I did that. Did that bit. All right. Created the container. Only updatable. All right. So it's containers only updatable, not drawable, and it's not an asteroid itself. Okay. Just gonna give Boots the updated part. Added the container. Removed the drawable part in the asteroids container. Container. Don't want to get that mixed up. Oops, I encountered an error. Ooh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Couldn't get boot chats. Uh-oh. Break something? Test. Okay. Updated the asteroids group and changed asteroids container to only updatable, not drawable. What? Take another look at the instructions for asteroid containers. I did that. Did that. That. Like we did with the player class, set the static containers field of the asteroid class to the new asteroids group as well as the updatable and drawable groups. That doesn't make any sense. It said not drawable. Okay. All right. Well, I'll put it back. I thought it was, thought it said it wasn't supposed to be drawable, but that was weird. Okay. We fixed it now. Okay. With that bit sorted, what next challenge awaits you in the asteroids assignment? There are many steps to bringing those space rocks to life. Okay, so did that. We've written an asteroid field class for you. Okay. I want to double check main.py. I guess if I want to do it right, I would go ahead and save this. I didn't do that. I'm going to save this. I'm going to go over here. I added asteroids. Asteroids group and container to main py loop created asteroid field.py. All right. And commit and push. Following file has unsaved changes, which won't be canceled. Yeah, I thought I hit Control S for everything here. Save all. Okay, so now I have a terminal. I need a new terminal and boot.dev asteroids. Huh, interesting. So you can't see it because it's the old, it hasn't updated yet. Go in here and go to Pygame window. Okay, and then refresh. So, oh, all right. So this is moving. I should have asteroids in here like it suggests, but hmm. Oh, create a new asteroid field object in the initialization code. Okay. Create a new asteroid field object in the initialization code. All right, so that seems like that would need to be in main. Okay. Um, asteroid field. Initialize asteroid field. How would I initialize asteroid field object? Seems like I'm missing. Step 9. How would you go about creating a new instance of the asteroid field class in your initialization code? Where would it typically go? I created asteroid field.py and included it as a from in the beginning of main. Oh, I see. Okay, how do you typically make a new object from a class? Okay, so uh, Asteroids are there. Oh, let me kill the pie game thing again because I'm gonna have to recreate it later. Create a new asteroid field object. How do you create a new object from a class? Okay. Oh, here we go. Probably something like this, but I thought I already did all that. Everything seems correct here. Okay. All right. See. So look carefully at the initialization code and within your main function. Okay. Can you spot where you would typically create a new object instance? You go about creating an asteroid field object there. It should be within the game loop because we want to draw the asteroids. Oh, I see. Consider where you created the player object. Is that inside the game loop or before it? Oh, it's before it. Okay, so I guess asteroid field equals betting it's all lowercase asteroid field. I'm gonna probably take off after this because it's getting a little late. And asteroid field x comma y. There we go. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, I didn't realize I need to also do that again for. I added the asteroid object in the same manner as player. Okay. Does it require X, Y arguments, or does it perhaps take no arguments at all aside from self? How does that compare to how you're trying to create your asteroid field object? Oh, okay. All right. Copy. I removed the X and Y coordinates from asteroid field. Okay. I need to probably save it now and then run it again. All right. Added the asteroid field object to draw the asteroids. Commit and save and push. Okay, and then close this window again. Let's see. Close window. Okay. And then pull this back up. So I got an error. Try to run it. Static containers. How does that line compare to what you have in your main P? Remember, it's just how you set layer.containers and asteroid.containers. Mm-hmm. Specifically mentioned setting the static containers field for the asteroid field class. All right, so static. I don't remember it calling static, but let's go see. Only the updatable group. It's not drawable. Okay, so yeah, that's what I told it. It's not drawable. All right, so here we go. Bug fix removed. Drawable from asteroid containers. All right, commit and push. Okay, so okay, I need to go because I want to make sure that my sorry to lose and run here, but I will let you know what I did going forward on this. When I figure out what the error is, as you saw what the error was. So I will follow through and figure that out. It'll probably take like 5 minutes of work, but I don't want to, keep dinner. So hope you all will join us. Hopefully Sunday. I need to send out the invite to Mr. Betcher, Ms. Berlin, for just happy discussion about news of the week and whatever. So hope you have a good week. Take care of yourself. Look after your health, please. As somebody who's been dealing with some health issues, just make sure you don't ignore the signs or signals. Okay. All right. You have a good day and be safe. All right. We'll talk soon.